your hometown sports source. And this is Bulldog Breakdown, where Raleigh sports come to life. We're here to bring you closer to the teams, the athletes, the coaches, and the stories that make Raleigh special. Local teams, real stories, stronger together. Let's get in the huddle. Welcome to Inside the Huddle, Bulldog Breakdown, brought to you by Mo Huddle Media. I'm your host, Tom Brown, and this is Season 4. It is Episode 5 of the season, and it's a Taylor Chrysler Coach Talk edition. We're joined by Lady Bulldog Golf Coach Zack Nixon. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
It's a great season.
It is a great season,
Great
man.
time of year. We're getting back into it. Loving the weather.
You don't know what it is, man. There's been some heat cooking about. We were talking about the wet bulb test.
Oh my gosh, we really got to have practice last week because it was so crazy. We got a 1 hour range practice, and then it was, so excessively high.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot about rules.
Yeah.
And goals.
Yeah.
All sorts of really fascinating, fun stuff.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've been talking this, so we've started off, we've expanded Inside the Huddle, and so we got St. James and Salem as well.
Nice.
And so with that, I've been talking about the wet bulb test because you brought it up to me, and what that temps, the wet bulb temp, whatever it's called, and Misha now has a standard guideline they use, and it's a standard test, and it gives you the criteria. You plug it in there, and it tells you you're good to go, or it's limited, or timing, and all the things.
Yeah.
But at least now you have criteria that kind of takes it off of your shoulders, said, this out of my hands.
Right. And so that's what we're kind of finding some interesting things to do is how can we structure practice to where it's still productive. And so, like I said, we did talk a lot about, I joked about it, but we talked a lot about goal setting. Mm-hmm. What do you want to accomplish? And then I think we've talked about this in the past, but, when you make a goal, you can't just say, I'm going to give it 100%. Yeah. And so I actually just sent it out today in the classroom. I just said, what does your 100% look like for you accomplishing your goals, and how you define your success?
I love it.
And so I really want them to take an introspective look, see what they want to get out and what they want to look like every day, and kind of start that self-actualization versus me getting out the cattle prod and poking every way. But we got a lot of, like I said, really talented but motivated girls this year.
I love it, because defining success is so critical, because what you define as success is different than mine. And if we're not on the same page, now that leads to conflict or, alignment. And when you're on a team, you need to know that, hey, this is where we're going and this is what they're doing, and it just helps it out. So it makes it so much easier.
It really does. Yeah.
So let's take a look. So coming off last season, it was the 9th season in a row that you had a state qualifier, if I have that down correctly. Pretty cool. And that was Maya Lewis. She was state qualifier. Talk about how the team went last year. Again, it's always kind of tough because, records are a little bit different because, you don't always have head-to-heads and stuff like that.
Golf's kind of hard to compare seasons because we're predominantly tournament-focused. Mm-hmm. And so when you go into the bulk of your season being you versus 20 to 25 other opponents, and you go, you didn't win that, well, it's not giving a clear, accurate picture. But we had such great senior leadership and just a really great community, and that's what I've seen this year has been carried on, even though we graduated. Maya, Macy, Paige, and Anna, they've got, there's 2 sisters left on because Emmy Dunstetter, she's a freshman, who's Anna's younger sister, and then you've got Emma Waslack, who's Macy's younger sister. And so there's still that camaraderie, and that's what we actually had one day is we had a meeting, but we had it at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, nice.
It's a great place to go and do some team bonding.
Exactly.
And so, and so we actually got a smaller crew this year. I will say it was a little disappointing we only had 1 freshman come out. Glad to have Emmy out, but we always look to fill the ranks back up. But it's going to be a great season.
So talk about that. Some of the returners that you have coming back then.
Okay, so we've got 3 primary varsity returners. We've got Rylan Jordan, we've got Madison Busk, and we have Celie Sauer. And so all immensely talented, and I want to really see where their goals are so I can help them fulfill those goals and maybe even push them beyond what they think they're capable of, because golf's a humbling game, and it's really hard, especially if you haven't played a lot of tournament golf. The mental aspect can be so difficult. And so kind of giving them some ideas for how to combat that when they're under the gun and under stress, and try to dissipate those emotions and kind of go through logically and go, okay. And actually, it was really cool the other day. I played with Celie, and she goes, 10 seconds, coach. And I go, 10 seconds, what? And she goes, I had my 10 seconds to think about what I did wrong, and now I can't think about it anymore, and kept on walking. And I'm like, All right, so your memory's better than mine.
I love it. That's pretty cool because like you'd always talk about like after the matches, hey, what's one thing I did well? What's one thing I want to improve? Type thing. It was always a cool thing.
Shot of the day.
Yeah, shout out all that stuff, and then hear something else like 10 seconds, and they're picking up on it, and that again that mindset of okay, that happened. I got to focus on where I'm going now.
Yeah. Right. You don't want to throw the rock and watch the ripples cascade into your next holes, and just if you can keep it calm and just kind of go, not happy with that, but what happened in a logical manner, and have them be able to recognize, if they tend to cut it or hook it, what symptoms cause that, so they can make a logical response versus that emotional one where they get down on themselves.
Yeah. We talk about reaction versus response. Reaction's emotional. If you're upset, you're upset. If you're happy, you're happy. If you're sad, you're sad.
Yeah.
But how you respond to that, that's always a choice, and that's what you want to get them to. I like it.
Right.
I like it. Let's take a look at, so in the summer, I know there's summer tournaments or summer leagues, there's the junior leagues. How many of your team was active doing that?
I don't think there was a lot of activity in that. A lot of them were working.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them were working at the golf course. I know one was working at Sonic, and so a lot of them were working out everywhere. But I saw them at the golf course, but I don't think they had as much tournament experience as, has been typical in the past.
Okay. And then, so going forward, what's going to be I've been talking about, the storyline for this year's team. When it's all said and done, what is Bulldog Nation, who's, again, following golf with all the success that you've had both on the girls' side and the boys' side, what's going to be the storyline for this year's team?
It's a tough question, Tom. Dang it. I would say it's really going to come down to a combined vision. And so I think that's kind of generalized, but I think the girls are they're coming in together, but I think they're going to have to see this is where we want to be, and this is where we want to grow and move to together, which I think, you've really seen it in the boys. It's been really consistent with that combined vision of we want to go to state, we want to win state. And I think as we go into more practices, I want to see what develops, and as we continue to have more conversations and about these goal-setting pieces, how are we going to move along towards that vision? Because we have an opportunity for greatness. Are we going to grab it and hold on to it and bring it to fruition?
I like it. Coach Cook was talking about with this cross-country team that, when you lose somebody like a Cameron Martinson, who was kind of at that elite level every time out, and now, and honestly, the way the races were run, he would kind of be up there, then maybe Braden would be up there kind of, with him, and then everybody else was kind of in a pack. This year, you're going to have maybe we don't have that elite level status, but we have this unifying team that can win you districts, that can win you those things because they can all play, and they all play well. And your 1 through 5 on that team go. And that's what I was thinking about with what you said is you got that opportunity for them to come together this year and be something different.
Right. It's like you're always looking for that integral person, because I talk about it a lot. Like, I always want what's best for them, but sometimes you just get this. It just comes in different from a player versus a coach. And so when you have somebody on the team who's willing to lead and step up and go, come on. Because I'm always pushing them nerds. Like, you always want to see them do their best.
But you're the coach,
I am the coach. And I'm really trying. I want to see who's going to step up and who's going to be leader, or who is it, if it's going to be like a whole team leading process. And that's when being a coach is really amazing, when you're just like, when everybody's keeping each other accountable and they're just like, we can do a bit more. And you see them stay after practice. And, hey, can you help me after practice? That's really what I'm looking for this season. I think that's how we'll do our best.
That's awesome, man. That's exciting. You love to see that, again, not just for the sport, but you like to see that for life, right?
Yeah.
That's what we talk about. So let's take a look at what's coming up. You're going to start off with the Lady Laker Golf Invitational. Is that kind of where it normally starts for you?
It is. It's a difficult tournament to start at. We see a large cross-section of people that will be at the state tournament. The greens are always slick. Every time, like, stay below the hole. Because it's so fast. 3 putts and 4 putts are a viable option. And then it's a great place to start, but it's difficult. Then we go to the MSU relays, and that's where the girls kind of feel more like home. It's more like Oak Meadow. They're more familiar. They feel more comfortable. And so that's how we're starting off the season, and it's going to be great.
So any other one, when you take a look at those tournaments, it's something maybe you're looking forward to, or with this group of girls to see how they kind of come out?
I think it's going to be interesting. So Elias and Bolivar are all at great courses. Yeah, Meadow Lake Acres, which is a usual state site, along with Bolivar Invitational, which is Silo Ridge, which is another, it's always a reused state site. And it's just a little more difficult and more bunkering, more difficult, larger greens. And I think that's going to be a real test. And by that time, we should have a pretty good idea how the season's going to go. And so I'm looking forward to those. But then just as far as the fun side of things, we have the Sullivan Partner Scramble, which the girls really enjoy because then the pressure's off a little bit. Yeah. And that's actually one thing we've been doing at the start of every girl season. It was actually instituted as one of the girls' ideas, is for the new girls coming in, the first time we play, we have a scramble, so that way they can be like, the rules, this is what you do here, here's proper etiquette. And so they feel a little more comfortable and not quite so out of their element. And one thing I was talking to them, I said, hey girls, at any point did you get really upset during your round? And they're like, no. And I'm like, and you played better, didn't you? And so I'm like, if you can take that, what keys you learned from the scramble portion and just apply it to your everyday game, you'll be a lot stronger player. And that'll be a good reminder towards the end of our season is that Sullivan Partner Scramble to reinforce that concept.
Yeah, I like that. Give you a nice little pause for it before you head in, because then it'll be one more meet and then district. So that'll be exciting. As we kind of wind down, just want to kind of pull out a couple things. So if you've been watching these over the last few days, you're going to hear it again. Inside the Huddle has expanded. We got St. James, we have Salem. We're looking for partnerships, not just from the regional side with all of the Inside the Huddle. We're also looking for partnerships with the community specific, so Rolla specific, Salem specific, and St. James specific opportunities. A lot of things to go even beyond the Inside the Huddle. Currently, it's romoathletics.com is the website where you'll find all the Inside the Huddle. You'll find articles and everything on there. But then we'll be transitioning to mohuddle.net as to try and give that broader sense and not so Rolla-centric. So be on the lookout. DM me if you want to talk more about that. So the strength of this year's team right now, I mean, I know it's still early. What do you think right now as you look at what's going to be the strength of this year's team?
Right now, I'd say it's the togetherness of the team. Everybody's pulling together. And so I want to see that continue through not only socially, but towards the practice aspect and keeping focused on what we need to do. And that's going to be our strength because I said, we're a pretty green team this year. But if we can pull together and build each other up when we need to be built up, but also keep each other accountable, that's going to give us our best opportunity for success.
I like it. I like that group think right there. Ozark Conference 2.0, 3.0, it's coming out next season. Again, for golf, it really comes down to at least you get a conference tournament,
right?
Which is a great thing, and you get recognition for the players. The rest of it, I mean, like you said, you're playing tournament format. You're going to see all those teams anyways. At most of your ones you go to, you're going to see pretty much those same schools. I mean, already they're going to be in there. So not quite the same, but having that conference meet and stuff, that's got to be kind of special again.
It is special. We historically have done well in that tournament, and it's going to be exciting to see us come back into that fray and kind of see how well we do because I know we had some really strong teams, but it was a bummer. We know why we withdrew because it wasn't suited for us, but it's going to be really exciting to have it back.
Exactly. I like that idea. Got a final question. Do you do any fantasy football?
Fantasy football? No.
Okay.
I don't really do anything sports-wise outside of golf.
Outside of golf, okay. That's cool. Because I was going through this process, and I have not had many fantasy football takers so far from the Rolla squad right now, so that's okay. But now let's put it this way. Okay, so now let's put into something you're comfortable with. So you play golf.
Yeah.
So now you got to go out there, and is it match play where you go head-to-head? Or is it stroke play?
It's stroke play.
Stroke play. So we're going stroke play.
Yeah.
And it's you against, let's say, the high school coaching staff out of all high school coaches in Rolla. Okay. So you got to pick somebody that dude, I'm taking them. They're not. I'm gonna pound them. Okay. So you got to call somebody out that you know you're gonna pound, and then you got to call somebody out that you say, I want them on my team with me.
Okay, so who am I going to beat?
Yeah, so who are you going to beat? Who are you like a guaranteed, put your money down, we're going to Kesha or whatever one of those sites are.
Okay, so if I'm going to beat somebody, because he's done me so many favors, not only in the classroom, but also when I was out for some medical reasons, but I'm going to take on Coach Swafford.
Oh, yeah. Coach Swafford. Because you mean he's not a swaptastic golfer?
He's a swaftastic cooker,
yes.
T-shirt coach.
Yeah.
But in this arena,
Not his thing. They know he's not smoking the golf course.
I played an RBC tournament with him, and he can hit the ball really well, but
Where's
it's
it
the
going?
antithesis of a bicycle. You play golf, and you're like, I did this one time, and I have no idea what's happening. But and then if I'm going to put somebody on my team from staff, let's see. That's a tough one because I know Shannon Snicker plays really well, but then also you got Mark Miller.
Killer Miller. That's where
Mark
that nickname
Miller,
came from,
he's been a great player for a long time.
Yeah.
He still kills the ball.
Yeah.
Probably going to have to. I haven't seen Shannon. I've heard about Shannon, but I know Mark.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Mark.
You're going to take Mark over the distance, Killer. Okay, I got that one.
Oh, Mark Miller, yeah.
Yeah, we won some Booster Club tournaments in the past. I think there and with the minor stuff too with that squad. But I was on there, kind of being the anchor, and not like a good anchor, like a dragging you anchor. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like the anchor person on the relay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was the guy they drug up and down the course. I guess we'll use this shot of Tom's.
I've been that player before. Zach, can you make a putt? No?
Is that a gimme? Yes.
Score one for me.
I'll take that one right there. Yeah, that's me. All right. Well, hey, Coach, man, good luck on the season. Again, September 2nd is the first meet. So again, golf, cross country always seem to be a little bit later than the other sports.
Right.
Always seem to be kind of after that Labor Day section. So good luck on that, and good luck on this season. We'll be doing this, catching back up, and
Sounds
doing
great.
some good stuff.
Tom, thank you so much as always. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Love it. Yeah, thanks for being here and coming inside and everything. Weather a little iffy out there today, but I appreciate it. So thanks everyone out there for joining us. Thanks for Taylor Chrysler being our Coach Talk sponsor. Always appreciate that. Here we are with Coach Nixon. Appreciate you being here. Be sure to watch Inside the Huddle on all the other episodes, and make sure you like that on Facebook or YouTube and all those things. So for Coach Nixon, I'm Tom Brown from Inside the Huddle to the Heart of the Game. We'll see you next time.